This is Taiwan. To most, it is a beautiful island of 23 million people, but to the global economy, it represents the most important square mile on Earth. In 2026, one single company here, TSMC, produces over 90% of the world's most advanced microchips. Without these chips, your smartphone goes dark, your car won't start, and the world's most sophisticated weapon systems become nothing more than useless pieces of metal. And that is why the world watches Taiwan with a level of strategic attention usually reserved for superpowers. Because the chips made here are not just tiny pieces of silicon, they are the invisible engines of modern civilization. They power artificial intelligence, enable global communications, and drive scientific breakthroughs. Every major industry, from healthcare to transportation to defense, depends on semiconductors. A single disruption in supply can ripple across continents, delaying production, increasing prices, and halting technological progress. At the heart of this system stands TSMC, a company that does more than manufacture chips. It defines the frontier of computing. Unlike traditional factories that produce finished consumer goods, semiconductor fabrication requires extreme precision. Chips are built in cleanrooms where even microscopic dust can ruin production. Machines cost hundreds of millions of dollars and operate with tolerances measured in nanometers, thousands of times smaller than the width of a human hair. This is engineering at the limits of human capability. Governments invest billions to secure semiconductor supply chains. Corporations design entire product strategies around chip availability. Military systems rely on advanced processors for communication, navigation, and intelligence. The modern world is built on computation, and computation depends on semiconductors. But TSMC's importance is not only technological, it is geopolitical. Control over advanced chip production influences economic and strategic power. Nations compete to build domestic semiconductor industries because reliance on a single source creates vulnerability. If production in Taiwan were disrupted, the consequences would extend far beyond consumer electronics. Automobiles would face production delays because modern cars contain hundreds of microchips. Data centers powering cloud services and artificial intelligence would struggle to meet demand. Medical devices, satellites, and industrial systems would experience shortages. Global supply chains would slow, and economic uncertainty would rise. This is why semiconductor leadership has become a central focus of international policy. Taiwan itself occupies a unique position in this landscape. It is a small island, yet its technological significance is enormous. Geography has shaped its history, but technology now shapes its future. The world depends on its stability because the microchips produced here underpin modern innovation. When new smartphones are released, when electric vehicles roll off assembly lines, when AI systems process information at unprecedented speed, Taiwan's semiconductor industry plays a silent but essential role. It is not an exaggeration to say that the digital age rests on foundations built in Taiwanese cleanrooms. Understanding this dynamic requires perspective. Semiconductors are invisible to most consumers. People interact with technology every day without thinking about the complex manufacturing processes that make it possible. A smartphone feels simple to use, yet inside it are billions of transistors etched onto silicon wafers with extraordinary precision. These transistors process information, store data, and enable connectivity. Without them, modern digital life would collapse. The internet would lose its computational backbone. Communication networks would weaken. Innovation would slow. This is why semiconductor production is not merely an industrial activity. It is a strategic capability. TSMC's role in this system is unparalleled. The company pioneered the foundry model, specializing in manufacturing chips designed by other firms. This approach allows innovation at scale. Designers focus on creating new architectures, while TSMC provides the fabrication expertise to bring those designs to life. The result is a global ecosystem of technology development. Companies from Silicon Valley to Europe to Asia rely on TSMC's manufacturing capacity. The chips produced here power everything from consumer electronics to high-performance computing to defense systems. They are the building blocks of modern technology. Yet this dependence also creates challenges. Supply chain concentration increases risk. If production were interrupted, whether by natural disaster, geopolitical tension, or logistical disruption, the global economy would feel immediate effects. This is why nations are investing in semiconductor diversification. New fabrication plants are being built in different regions. Governments are supporting domestic chip initiatives. The goal is not to isolate Taiwan, but to strengthen resilience. Semiconductor supply chains must be robust enough to withstand uncertainty. At the same time, Taiwan's technological leadership remains critical. Innovation does not happen in isolation. Research, engineering talent, and manufacturing expertise develop over decades. TSMC's success is the result of sustained investment and specialization. Semiconductor fabrication is one of the most complex industrial processes in existence. It requires precision materials, advanced equipment, and highly trained engineers. Replicating this capability is not simple. It demands long-term commitment. This reality underscores a broader truth about the modern world. Technology and geopolitics are intertwined. Economic power increasingly depends on digital infrastructure. Nations that lead in innovation shape global markets and influence strategic outcomes. Semiconductor production is central to this competition. Chips are no longer just components of consumer devices. They are essential to artificial intelligence, data processing, and advanced defense systems. Control over semiconductor capabilities influences technological progress. Taiwan's role in this ecosystem is unique. It is a small island with global significance. The microchips produced here power industries and innovations that reach every corner of the world, from smartphones in your pocket to satellites in orbit, from electric vehicles on roads to AI systems analyzing information. Taiwan's semiconductor industry enables modern life. The world may not always see this connection, but it is undeniable. This is why discussions about Taiwan and TSMC matter. They are not simply topics of regional interest. They are questions about the future of technology, economics, and global stability. Understanding the semiconductor industry provides insight into how the modern world functions. It reveals the invisible systems that support innovation and connectivity. It explains why nations prioritize technological leadership, and it highlights the importance of resilience in a complex global economy. The story of Taiwan and TSMC is ultimately a story about progress. It is about human ingenuity and the ability to build systems that transform society. Semiconductors are small, but their impact is enormous. They power computation, enable discovery, and drive economic growth. The modern world depends on them, and as technology continues to evolve, their importance will only increase.